6 fires have broken out at this university in 7 months. This morning, a chilling video once again shattered the peace on campus. A student in his dorm accidentally filmed flames shooting from the building across the way. His roommate Matthew got curious and wanted to go check it out. Suddenly, he noticed something mysterious sliding under the door. The next second, flames engulfed Matthew. Even though his roommate tried his best to help, Matthew ultimately couldn't escape being burned to death. The behavioral analysis unit immediately boarded a plane to the scene. The first fire occurred in March. Then came fires in May and September. But just 2 weeks later, 3 fires broke out in a single night. The frequency had suddenly accelerated, and each fire was more intense than the last. Jason, using years of profiling experience, makes a sharp judgment. If the suspect went from setting 1 fire to 3 in 2 weeks, it means his pursuit has escalated from simple property destruction to absolute control over life and death. To avoid tipping off the suspect, they discreetly enter the campus. The fire inspector brings grim news. This morning, the chemistry department reported a theft of highly flammable hazardous materials. The school has already prepared to evacuate the campus, but Jason immediately vetoes this plan. That way, they might let the arsonist escape too. If the case isn't solved, once campus reopens, the killer will only get worse. The case file shows the last fire was caused by stolen diesel fuel, and the fire occurred the day after the diesel went missing. Following this logic, the next arson could very likely happen today. Next, Reed and Hodge arrive at Matthew's dorm room. According to his roommate, their door was locked when the fire started. Even if the doorknob turned, the suspect couldn't have gotten inside. This means he poured the accelerant into the room from the hallway. In other words, the suspect couldn't see the fire. He could only hear Matthew's screams, and to avoid being discovered, he had to leave quickly. This completely contradicts the behavioral logic of a serial arsonist. You have to understand, this type of criminal would never just set a fire without witnessing the results firsthand. The fire inspector indicates the arsonist shuts off the water main before each fire, and the last 3 fires were all ignited using the same thing. Strangely, Matthew's case didn't use any ignition device. Morgan speculates he might have wanted to enjoy watching the kid die in real time. But if Matthew was the target, why did the suspect set 6 other fires? Arson motives typically come down to vandalism, covering up a crime, political statement, or revenge, but Matthew was popular at school. None of these possibilities fit. Morgan tries observing the dorm environment from the arsonist's perspective, but he still can't figure out where the fire actually started. Why specifically choose the 3rd floor, which is in the middle? Could the suspect's real target not be this building at all? Elle analyzes from a technical angle that it was an electrical spark triggered by a timer setting, which then ignited the chemical mixture inside the container. This technique seems simple but is actually very complex to execute. Combining the use of chemical accelerants, they narrow their focus to chemistry students. Meanwhile, Jason has the dean set up a hotline. He knows very well that most arsonists enjoy manipulating law enforcement. They crave communication with police to interpret their own actions. This hotline is a trap waiting for the suspect to walk right in. Just then, Jason notices a student lighting a cigarette. Images from previous fires instantly flash through his mind. Then he sees other students unable to turn on the water faucet. He walks over and checks the water valve by looking down, then looks up at the fire hydrant overhead. A terrifying thought suddenly hits him. He immediately pulls the fire alarm, shouting for everyone to leave the building. At that moment, a professor just returned to his office and smelled a pungent odor. He also discovered an unidentified liquid near the break room door. When he tries to turn on the light to investigate, other team members see what's happening and rush over. Jason hears screams from the office and immediately smashes the glass to grab a fire extinguisher. Just as he's about to rescue them, Morgan runs over and grabs him. He drags and pulls him all the way outside.
What's a teacher? Let it go! He's already dead. Let it go.
Everyone watches helplessly as the building is consumed before their eyes. That sense of defeat nearly crushes them.